All right, welcome back to the show. This is the Jay and Cody Show. We have a special guest today. For those of you who have listened to our previous podcast, we have my transsexual boyfriend, Steven, on. Say hello, Steven.
Hi.
Her voice is much higher now to the surgery.
Her penis is really big.
So
that's what's important.
It's actually bigger than mine.
Well,
Great.
like that's difficult.
Right, I know. It just kind of pokes
My
up from underneath
4-year-old's
the
is
hood.
bigger than yours,
Right.
so I mean,
Just kind of pokes up from underneath the hood a little bit.
yeah, just enough to say hi. See the sun, it's like a groundhog.
Right, yeah. Oh.
By the way, 4 more weeks of winter.
Yeah, there it is.
He went back in.
No, we decided to have her on, kind of against her will. She is a very big Trump supporter.
Well, I want to
She
say this
absolutely
first.
loves
We were-
imagining sucking his cock. His
We
little
were,
cock.
by the way, just want to say this. We were trying to get Wes in again.
Yeah.
And he canceled again.
Yeah,
So,
shocker.
yeah.
Which, by the way, as of last night, we
had
had
questions about Wes than any
Right, yeah.
any other of our guests. It's like, where's like?
And
why
it was
haven't
really
you
a
guys
last-minute
gotten
thing, like,
Wes?
last
you
night-
guys hate Wes, blah blah. It's like, no, we
No.
really want to be like.
Like, last night he told you he was coming in.
Yeah.
didn't he? And then just, 30 minutes ago, he was
Pretty
like,
much.
oh, hey, so by the way,
Not gonna do it.
Yeah,
I
last
got laundry.
like, you didn't know you had
I think
laundry
he
last night?
swears like we're gonna come after him, and it's like, to an extent, he deserves some of
Oh,
it.
definitely.
But, I mean, really, it's just,
Right, yeah.
What's your take on this? Like,
So instead, we have another victim today. Not really a victim. We're not actually going to do any gotcha questions. We want to get your side on some things.
I think part of it too is like, how do we get gotcha questions on people? Like,
I don't know.
no one we interview is like famous enough to release any like big statements
Right.
that we can turn around.
Right.
I mean, trust me, we would if we could. Like I've said, if we could interview Bernie Sanders, we would make him look like a racist just
Right,
to get
yeah.
our name out there.
God bless that man.
He's amazing.
I would have his kids.
By the way, thanks a lot for not hooking us up. Appreciate that. Could have been there yesterday.
And now we're throwing shade. You're
yeah.
throwing shade.
I'm just saying.
I
You want
mean,
a good 15-20 minutes of good radio. Someone could have hooked us up with some passes.
no, I know.
Maybe we could have
but-
talked to him,
you
but no. We're expected to continue doing what we're doing without money and without any sort of
Right.
help or... Yeah.
Well, next time, maybe.
Just saying. Yeah, that's all. I'm just, you know.
No, I get it. I understand. I understand your frustration.
In lieu of that, though, what did you do yesterday?
What was yesterday? Saturday. I actually had a really nice day. I laid in bed and I watched anime all day. It was
Anime?
Anime. Yeah.
What are you,
It was
12?
incredible. What? Oh, come on. Well, you were asking me the other day about good animes, so fuck you.
Yeah, but I still don't watch them.
Then why were you asking about
Because
them?
they're stupid.
Hey, which ones can I... What?
Sorry.
I slightly have to agree with her anymore. Like,
You were the one asking me, like,
At
hey,
one
what are some
point-
good animes to watch?
yeah, because
Those were
like,
your
and then you
words.
turn them on and you're like, oh, this sucks.
Well,
Like over exaggerated, like
I mean, that's just Japan.
what a plot. But it's not Japan.
No, it is.
No, because like I play a lot of Japanese role playing games, like Final Fantasy and junk like that, and they're not like
Final Fantasy's become very Americanized, though.
still written by Hiroshima Kadavarada, whatever his last name is.
Right. Mostly for Americans.
But it's not. No,
Yeah.
Dude, it's huge in Japan. Like you don't know this. Like trust me, don't make yourself
It's become
sound stupid.
so
You are
Americanized.
not.
Even if
you
it's
don't
written
even
by
know.
Japan, though, it's still Americanized. The anime isn't Americanized.
You know what the number one mobile app in America is?
What?
Facebook. Number 2 is Twitter. Number 3 is I don't know.
Grinder.
Yeah, probably. You know what the number one app in Japan is?
What?
Final Fantasy Mobius.
Is that the one you have?
No, it's not even one I have. Like
Oh.
I don't even think it's that good.
Really?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like it is huge over there.
Yeah.
If you walk like on a corner, like you know we have Pepsi machines.
Yeah.
They have like beverage machines, but with Final Fantasy characters.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it is massive over there. That's like their football.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
So what I'm saying is, well, I mean, I guess baseball is their football, but
Yeah.
still,
I get what you mean.
yeah, it's like still very Japanese.
Japanese.
Japanesey.
Japan.
Japan.
Just sounds like a black name.
I think it's-
Japan.
Japan. guy who thinks he's better than everyone.
Right.
From Japan.
No, so, fuck, I just blanked out entirely. I had a question for you.
Did you?
I did.
Was it
And then
important?
Well,
It wasn't.
could be. Oh, fuck, what was I going to say? This is actually relevant.
If you use lube this time, maybe.
I don't like to, though. Here's the thing.
You like using aloe vera from a plant.
Exactly. It works great. And then, like, any, like, cuts you have, it just heals it. And it soothes it. It's really nice.
I wonder if that would work for, like, preventing, like, AIDS.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure AIDS can get past the aloe vera.
Actually, it's kind of difficult to get AIDS.
Is it?
Yeah.
How'd I get it?
Well, I mean, a ton of gay sex with guys. I mean, you'll get it. But I'm just saying, like...
Right, I mean...
it's not as easy as you would think.
Really? Why is that?
I don't know, like, it dies as soon as it hits the air. There's all sorts of shit with AIDS.
Nice.
Yeah. I was listening to Weird Medicine, Dr. Steve show, which, yeah. But, yeah, he was just talking about, like, your chances of, like, just, like, unprotected sex with someone that has AIDS, you have a 32% chance of getting it.
That's actually pretty low.
That is. That's what I thought, too. I thought, like, 100% you're fucked. That's why I didn't have sex with Magic Johnson when he was in town.
You didn't? Maybe that's where I got it from.
Magic Johnson or the old hooker down the street. One of the two.
So, since I can't remember my old question, I have a new question for you. What do you think about this whole new war on drugs? It's like Richard Nixon V2, only with Trump.
Do you think that's what's going on, though?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, and this is one of those questions that, like, or one of these topics that we would actually like to hear her aspect.
Right.
And for some reason, it's blanking out her name and thinking Steven.
Right. That's all right. That's what she'll go by.
But she's very, like, not. She's very unaware of what happened on Thursday, I believe, when Spicer said that.
Thursday or Friday.
And again, I'm not blaming her because, like, I haven't seen anything on Facebook or anything.
I havened either.
Massive outrage over it.
I just saw that one tweet
there's
by
like
him.
a fuck ton of stoners out there.
Right.
That also ended up voting for Trump, which is weird. How's your mom feel about it?
I haven't talked to her for a while.
You should ask. You should ask her.
I am curious because she definitely is like stoner central, and
and I talked to Wes about it, and he's like, well, I'm gonna wait till Trump tweets something about it.
Well, he
before
has.
we'll wait till Monday until there's a tweet about it, and then I'll see how I feel about it. Because right now it's probably fake news. And that's literally, like, I hate that fucking term. That's not a fucking thing. It's not.
He tweeted it though. Trump did.
Spicer actually said it in a
I'm pretty sure he
press
tweeted
conference,
it, though.
but I don't know about the tweet. I couldn't.
I'm pretty sure he did. I thought I saw it in a tweet.
I don't know.
I follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, so do I. But no, I guess I'll scan through and look.
Yeah,
maybe so. I don't remember seeing it.
Maybe
I remember
Spicer
Spicer saying it. But remember, we're talking about how Trump is really all about privatized prisons.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you know much about privatized prisons, but they're a horrible, horrible thing.
Oh, definitely.
They want to get as many people incarcerated as possible so they make a profit off of it.
And you can literally get away with anything.
Yeah, you can treat them however you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Because there's no standards, which, I mean, Trump wants to get rid of every standard anyway,
right.
So who cares? But what I was thinking, though, is this weed thing is more about the privatized prisons and getting more people incarcerated for low-level, problems. And I think it also, on the back end of that, it helps because he's in with Big Pharma really well.
Yeah.
And they would rather shove liver-killing Oxycontins down your throat than let you smoke weed,
And, like, what kind of shitbag do you have to be? You would rather incarcerate people who can go to jail for up to 10 years, depending on the state and how much you have, instead of trying to make a profit off of it. Because Colorado has just... Their economy was so bolstered by weed. They have too much money.
There's two ways to make money off of it, is the thing. Either you legalize it, and you tax it, and you make the money that way, and the whole all of us share it.
Yeah.
Which is
and benefit.
Which is more of a socialist style of, earned income, so to speak. Or you privatize prisons and you make money off incarcerating people, which only a small percentage make the money, which is a capitalist way of thinking. By the way, I apologize for not... Like, I gave you a straight answer, or a bullshit answer to a straight question, because you said, isn't that like V2? And you're right, yeah, it basically is, because that's what Nixon's whole thing was. That and systemic racism. Because,
it is.
Yeah, because you could get caught with, like, a line of Coke, or an eighth of Coke, whatever. I don't even know what Coke is. But a gram of Coke and a gram of crack. Coke, you're doing, like, a week in jail, but the crack, you're in for, like, 25 years.
Yeah.
Which, the blacks used to like the crack.
Right.
I don't know if they still do. I don't really hang out with the blacks. I don't know any of the blacks.
Well, anyway, what do you think on it, though? Like, as far as his attack on...
Yeah, jump in whenever you want to talk. Like,
yeah,
okay.
don't
say
something
no, I'm
where
just
you're
like trying to process everything.
Where you're like, oh, that's not true.
No.
They're just talking out
I
their
don't
ass.
know. I haven't heard a whole lot on this thing about weed and trying to, like, get rid of, like, the legalized states of it.
But even, like, if you haven't heard about it, what do you think if he does
well,
lead a campaign on it?
I mean, I am a fan of it, so I wouldn't want it, in my opinion, to be illegal. So, and I think it's really stupid with whatever you were saying on the prisons being, like, privatized. Like, that's a really dumb way to go about things.
He was really adamant on the privatized prison system.
Yeah.
That was the thing that scared the shit out of me.
And I know that, like, people are really scared of, like... I mean, you and I have talked about it. Really scared of, like, socialism. But if you don't even think about it in a socialist aspect, think about it in, like, a helping people aspect, not being a shitbag.
Like,
right, because, like, instead of having everyone benefit, kind of, and, you know, we can all get some more money, our economy's helped, etc., let's just send people to jail, and then a small group can benefit. That's just a shitbag thing. That's not even a socialist or a capitalist thing in my mind. That's just you being an awful person.
Well, I mean, as far as this... I'm trying to remember which president, and it probably was Obama. I hate to say it, just because I always feel like I'm just talking him up, even though he has done some shitty things. Drilling in the Atlantic, I thought was really shitty. But one of our presidents, I don't feel like it was Bush, but they put in really strict regulations on privatized prisons, and so they had to shut a lot of them down. And since then, our numbers of being incarcerated dropped dramatically. But for the most part, and we still are the most incarcerated country in the world. Like, I think even your, like, crazy, like, I'm insane countries only incarcerate, like, 3 to 5%.
Well, they just kill them.
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's that too. But yeah, like, for us, I think it's like 19% of Americans are incarcerated.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's almost a quarter of America.
Well, and then, like, I think out of that 19, only 5% are, like, serious offenders.
Yeah. Like, I question how much of that is, like, weed.
A lot of them are low-level drug offenses.
Right.
Yeah, like, tons of them.
I just think it's so stupid.
But, like, and they've done research into, like, okay, if instead of taking, like, even a crackhead or a meth head or whatever, instead of incarcerating them, if you did a 60-day rehab program, which it costs so much less for us to do.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, that itself has a 43% success rate.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like, is that not worth it? I feel like that is. Like, instead of having, you know, somebody go to prison for 20 years and we're flipping the bill, it's
which, and
insanely
then
expensive.
at that point, you got to question how much. After 20 years, you've got nothing. I mean, you may have some family that'll take you in. You won't have a job.
No,
you won't. Not many jobs will hire you.
You're
you
one
have
of those.
No money.
You remember, you're Brooks,
right? Yeah,
you know?
right. How many options do you have except, like, maybe going back to selling drugs?
Right.
Because no one will hire you.
Yeah.
So after 20 years, it's screwed your life. Like, if I pray to God I don't. If I ever were to become president, that is one of the biggest things I would work on is the judicial system. We focus so much on incarcerating them, we don't focus enough on helping them while they're in there and by the way, I do the whole weed thing different. But for serious crimes,
Right, yeah.
I would focus more on helping them while they're in there and once they get out. Because once they get out, they're screwed. They've got nothing.
Those are all, like, social programs, though.
Right.
We're not a fan of those in
No,
America.
we're not.
Even though we're, like, good for, like, the cops, which is a social program.
But wouldn't that
Firefighters.
be cheaper?
Right, no,
That'd be way
Like,
cheaper.
so
Way cheaper.
Why don't people get behind that? Because coming from, like, my point of view on that is, I'm like a big, like, get rid of our debt, balance the budget. That would be cheaper. That could help.
I will tell you why. Because the people who control it are the ones who make the money. And so the people who can change it, if they change it, they won't get the money. There's a lot of people who are for it. It's just the ones who are quote unquote important and can control it, they don't want to do it. Because then they won't get their green like they're supposed to.
In the way
That's why.
In the way that, like, a bill would be opposed to or presented to the people is you would hear your guy, your Republican guy, for the most part, and some Democratic people too. Don't you know? Booker is one of those piece of shit from New Jersey who seemed like a really good guy, but he's fucking bought and sold. I think I've had a night with him before, but they'll come out and they'll say to the people, "Oh, we don't. This is more social funding. We don't want to support more social funding." And people are like, "Oh no, fuck that.
Right.
We're already paying enough for welfare and blah blah blah." And they just hide it under, like, that guise, which is kind of a thing. It's kind of annoying.
I think we've talked about this before, but I want to talk to you about welfare.
We actually talked about that last episode. Gabe, me and Gabe were talking.
Oh,
about
really?
welfare. Yeah.
Oh, well then never mind.
No, go ahead, because I want to see if it's the same.
What do you think should the limitations be for welfare? As far as what you can buy and what you can use the money for. Do you think there should be limitations, and if so, what should they be? Same question goes to you, so if you feel like jumping in, go for it.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah.
I think there should be limitations. I think that, like, primary groceries, I don't know exactly what. Is there any limitations?
There are. There's just some things you can't buy. Like, I think lobster is just one of them. Like, they specify by food.
Steak.
Yeah, like, you can't buy it. It's not meant... welfare is not meant for you to have a luxurious lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's meant to help.
So it should be primary groceries and not... So, like, my thing, like, maybe, like, not be allowed to have, like, all the, like, sugary carbs that, like, kids don't need in their bodies, like, that is not providing nutrition.
Yeah, and see, I wouldn't even go that far. I would just say more just primary groceries. Yeah. I'm not even focused on nutrition, but, like, one of my problems was, and I can't remember if it was a WIC or what it was. What was your question?
Where are you going? Like, what's your...
I was just wondering what you thought about,
like what else would you... Are you talking about food stamps or... because there's a difference.
Right. I was talking more about welfare, but...
So welfare, you can get, like, gas and stuff and other things.
Welfare
is
just
a check. Gas. I mean, you get... well, it's not even works that way anymore. It's a card.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
that is
that.
only accepted at certain places.
Okay.
And, God, it's like little to nothing. Like, maybe, I think 250 a month is the max those people get. But you have to have at least 2 kids and no job.
Right, which makes
like
no
it's
sense.
Impossible.
So it's like if you have no job, how are you going to afford your kids on $250 a week? That doesn't even cover rent.
By the way, that costs us 12 cents a day.
Right.
As per our military spending, costs us $236 a day.
Right.
Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yep.
Because I think we spend too much on military. As far as, like, I think there should be different restrictions, but, like, I think food stamps should go for diapers as well. I think that's a huge thing. I'd also like to make the point that most companies do really well, including Walmart, because of food stamps. Because they get subsidized, and it looks really well on their bottom line. And it actually counts as donations. So they're double profiting off of this.
I didn't know.
So our money's going in, and they're also getting the donation side of it as well as the money.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of shitty to do, but...
Right, because I just remember, I can't remember if it was WIC or what it was, but one of my friends who works at Dillon's, she said that some lady came through with her kid, and I can't remember what it was, but I know she had like a cash limit type deal, and she was getting
that's WIC, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, and she was getting like 3 packs of cigarettes.
Oh, no, that's not WIC.
Oh, okay, because this was just
you can
like,
only get peanut butter, formula, milk, and like canned vegetables.
okay, I was gonna say because this was like she had a cash limit through some government assisted whatever, and she had like a few things of baby food, and she didn't have enough for it all, so she put one of the things of baby food back. I don't think it should cover. I don't think it whatever it was. It should be more specific so it doesn't cover cigarettes.
To be honest, I would like to see this, like what she was talking about, because baby food would be covered under the WIC, which doesn't cover anything else.
Yeah.
And if you're on food stamps and other like subsidies, like why would you not use the WIC? They give you more than enough for WIC.
Do they?
Yeah, and like WIC is actually a really cool program that like pretty much anyone that has a kid can get on for like your first year or whatever. Like we were doing all right financially, but just because we were like a 1-income family, they put us on WIC and we're like, why not? In fact, formula is actually priced to be on WIC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like
It's expensive.
I think it's like $20-$25 for a can, and they go through a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, like that wouldn't cover. Like I'm just saying, like man, maybe I'm wrong on this, but I feel like your friend may have exaggerated on this. That's all I'm saying.
It's entirely possible.
Because like, why would she use?
Do you know her?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Do I know her well?
Fairly.
Does she have fake parts to her?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you know the person who works at Dillon's. My friend.
Does she have? Is there a lot of space between her ears?
Yep.
Ah, okay. Well then, yeah, it's pretty much garbage.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I'm just saying, like, why you wouldn't use it? Like, the two things don't match up. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
But what I was wondering, I guess, like, as far and as well as we got somebody who's a Trump supporter, or kind of. I don't know, like everything we're talking about, you're like, I don't like that, I don't like that.
Well,
I think I've changed my mind after voting for him.
yeah,
honestly.
well, that's because you're using your head now.
I was actually just,
Well-
I was about to ask you, like, what is the limit? Like, as far as, like, you know what, this isn't who I signed up for. Or do you think, like, he is doing everything he said he was? You just thought maybe he was going to be more presidential after?
Well, at the time, like, obviously, it was him and Hillary, and I definitely did not like Hillary for certain reasons, and I wasn't going to back down from those reasons. So, therefore, I mean, like, the whole greater good thing, like...
What were those reasons, may I ask?
Abortion is, like, the major one for me. And my opinions on that, like, I'm not going to back down from, really.
What,
So,
I mean, what's the...
I'm
You're
saying
giving me
that. No.
Give me a look like, no, don't go there.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation.
I'm just curious, like, what's the, like...
He's not asking for a debate.
Okay.
He just wants your
Like,
point.
she's not like, she wasn't like, free abortions for everyone. You know, like the end of, what's that, that college movie with Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh, yeah.
We're all getting abortion. Yeah, it's not like that. What's...
Okay, well, I don't like any abortions because I believe that life starts at conception. So I don't like any abortion. Therefore, since she had it, like, even though she wasn't for a late term, I believe.
She was for late term.
She was?
But
I
only
thought
under specific conditions.
Okay.
Which is a good
Only
thing.
if
That's what
it
I-
was like
yeah.
rape, if it was going to kill the mother or the child anyway.
Which,
And I think that's just about it.
What about DNCs?
DNCA, you got to explain that more.
DNCs are when you're over 2 months, I think. And I might be wrong. I know we do have a doctor that listens to the show, and they'll probably be like, you're wrong on your time limit. Whatever. But I think it's after a month. There's definitely enough when you hear a heartbeat. But after that point, when the baby dies.
Wait, what?
It's a DNC. It's after the baby has died in the mom, and they need to remove it.
On that, I mean, since it is dead already, I don't know if I would consider that abortion. I don't know. I was just reading a story.
That actually, though, attributes like 38% of abortions.
I was gonna say, and I wouldn't even classify that as an abortion.
It is,
that's
though.
not.
I know technically
that's
it
where,
is.
like, no, I mean, but I'm saying like that's where most of those numbers are. And
Okay.
I know technically it is, but I still wouldn't consider it an abortion.
Yeah.
But you have to for the argument's sake, because by saying like, well, I don't call it that's like saying Trump's not my president. Like, no, he is.
Not really, though.
It is because that's what's factored into that's what's in the numbers. Like when they say we had 800 abortions, 32% of those were of dead babies. See what I'm saying? Like
I do. I get what you're saying.
That's by their terminology,
right?
Not
right.
And there's a lot of people that are pro baby.
Pro-choice?
No, not pro-life. That's it. That are like the woman should go to term with the dead baby in there.
See, I
body.
don't think
And that's
that
horrible,
shit.
if you ask me.
Yeah. I mean, I was just reading a story like that. Personally, I would probably do that because I was reading this story, and the mother was going full term to donate the baby's organs, which I found really awesome.
The brainless one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. So I mean, but I think that's too much to ask.
I honestly
for a mom
don't
to
think
do
that you could. I don't think they could really use the organs, to be honest.
No, they couldn't.
I mean,
I
mean, not to take away from.
I would doubt because
For stem cell, maybe, but
with your brain not working,
Yeah.
you aren't getting the same functions.
Yeah.
And if your brain's not working, your heart's not working. If your heart's not working, the organs aren't getting blood. And if the organs
But
aren't
like,
getting
if it
blood,
wasn't a brain though, like if it was something else, like.
right? But in this instance,
Yeah, but yeah.
I
see what you're saying, and I think that is that's too much to ask. I think to require.
Oh, it's way too much.
People
And
to
like
do that.
the thing is, like most people, like most women, don't understand. Well, like I'm like I'm gonna talk to women about their own bodies. I don't fucking know. Oh my god. But it takes usually a few tries before you get a.
That's all, folks.
you score a goal, so to speak.
Touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, most of the women I know, including my wife, had to have a DNC at one point. And, like, that itself fucks you up. Like, she was depressed for months over losing a child. And, like, for me, I think that, like, that's just repugnant for, like, there to be some guy in Washington who says, well, because I believe in God, you should have to carry a dead baby in your room for 9 months. Like, what?
And that's what I do not think that it should be up to a specific few people to decide the entire rationale of a country.
That's kind of my thing. That's why I don't care. Like, I'm like, whatever. You know, I mean,
obviously we have rules and laws set for a reason, like don't go kill somebody. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. That's more than like a biblical thing. That's just, come on, dude.
Right. It's just not being a dick.
With abortion, I see the arguments from, like you. I see your arguments, but I don't think that everybody should have to comply with a smaller group's arguments. I don't think it should be up to them. I don't think it should be their choice. Be like, well, God said this. I'm like, okay, well, guess what? I'm an atheist. Let's just not. But if they're an atheist, then fuck what God says. It doesn't mean anything to them.
No, I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, like, the whole God thing is such a hard, how do I put this? It's such a hard, line to cross, like, because some people would say, like, those crazy, religious people, they're like, well, God didn't make the medicine or whatever, so I'm not going to go to a doctor.
Right.
And then other people are like, well, God gave us the information so that we can't, so
right.
like...
And that's what I say. I don't know. I know I told you this. One of my buddies, his mom had a brain tumor damn near about a year and a half ago. And for the longest time, for about 6 months, they wanted to do nothing but pray and do herbal stuff. And it obviously didn't do anything. She finally had to go in and have surgery.
Steve Jobs kind of situation.
Right. For this last year, she's not been taking the medication for after the surgery, stuff like that. So now she has to go back in for a plate in her skull because her skin isn't healing right because the medications weren't being taken. Now here's the thing. This tumor was never malignant. So it was Puma. So it was never a problem. It was growing a little bit, but if she just gone in and had the surgery done and taken the meds, she would have been fine a year and a half ago. She's still dealing with it. And even her son was like, well, that is pretty stupid. I understand you want to see God in it, but that's what doctors are for. I've argued that if you really want to put God into it, God gave us brains so that we can use them and so that we can develop more and more, so that we don't...
And we can rationalize.
It's like I was telling her, I was like, the Dark Ages was the Dark Ages for a reason, because everybody gave everything up to God. And that's fine to a certain extent, but not medicine.
And then we got the Black Plague.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And,
right. So if you really want to see God, just say that, God's working through the doctors to heal you. That's what they're there for.
Well, what I guess I was saying, though, with that was like the whole abortion thing. Some people would say no abortions because God never actually said anything about abortions, but
right.
He has this whole thing with life, I guess.
I guess.
But if there was knowledge that, like, it could kill the baby, or like, the baby would be born disfigured or really jacked up, or it could kill the woman, or there'd be some, like, major complications, like, I think God would be alright with that. I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't speak for him, but
you know what? Else. If you really want to get religious with it, let's break it down. There is a
Plus, God put the baby there. I'm just saying, if you're religious.
There is... I can't remember. Help me out here. It's called... you're the really religious one. The age of something, where you kind of reach a point where the life...
Age of Aquarius?
Where you kind of have to be... You kind of have to think for yourself in the sense that you need to think about your own salvation. But up until then, like if you die a baby, since you weren't really able to comprehend the fact that there's a heaven and a hell...
You go to limbo?
No, you go to heaven. It's the age of...
That's what most people think. I mean, it's
She's about
different.
to tell me I'm
She
wrong.
thinks they just go straight to hell.
Right.
Fucking
Stupid
unworshiping
babies.
No, it's different, honestly, I think, for each child. Like, some kids might get that theory at, like, 2 or 3. They might understand the concept of, this is wrong, I shouldn't do this. And other kids, it might be 5 or 6. So, I
agree.
But
I'm just saying there is still an age, but before that...
No, I think they go to heaven. But
okay, yeah. And that's what I'm saying, is if you really want to argue it from a religious standpoint, why not just kill the baby? Because they're going to heaven anyway. Whereas if you kill the mom... if you kill the mom, maybe she's going to hell.
It's a valid point.
Yeah. So I mean, why not? Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, if you're using the all-knowing kind of, I mean,
right. But I'm just saying they're going to heaven anyway. Just off them.
Well, that's like, why didn't God just kill baby Hitler?
I don't know, because then we wouldn't have the jokes we have today.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe he's not a big fan of the Jews.
I don't blame him.
Just thought about that. He doesn't like the Jews,
which is weird because that's like God's people.
Yeah, but look what he did to his son.
That's true.
I mean,
that is true.
I love my son. I wouldn't do that.
He's
like, you're a Jew.
He almost had poor Abraham sacrifice his son. He's kind of sadistic.
Cut off his penis.
Yeah,
part of it.
Well, not his whole penis, but
for you it'd be the whole penis.
Right. All it is just foreskin.
Yeah.
There's no actual meat there. It's just a flap of skin.
It's like if you cut down a tree.
Right. Yeah.
Just the trunk. See, that's how you get out of. Hey, we're having, like, religious conversation. Let's make it funny.
Right.
Oh,
okay, so...
I think we're actually getting close to, like, having to take a break, to be honest.
I believe we are.
As I keep, like, looking and messing with things. Yeah, we got, like, a good minute. Well, I'd say, like, 2 or 3 minutes. You have any, like, are you staying on, or...
Do you want to do a part 2 of this?
I don't care. Whatever you guys want.
I think you should do a part 2 of this. You seem pretty comfortable.
I don't care.
Don't look at me.
I don't care.
All right, she's doing a part 2 of this.
Well, because I was going to give her the last couple minutes, if she was leaving, to a final, like...
A final fuck you.
Whatever, Hey, I hate you, atheist bastards. Your religious standpoints. No, moving on to part 2. We still have to talk about the Syrians. I actually want to get into something about that.
That's what I was about to bring up before I realized we were almost out of time.
Yeah, then we got into like this weird abortion thing, which
she said not to bring up, but we did anyway, because...
Yup.
Well, it was more like a Hillary thing.
Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Which we
So
never
really you brought it up.
We never really finished, so we'll get back to
No.
that. Not the abortion thing, the Hillary thing.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
I think so. All right. Well, we will be back very shortly. Well, I guess by the time you hit the play button, it's up to you when we're back.